peeps. Hi peeps on the intertubes. it's tersse back here. Tersse back on the old intertubes, peeps. To talk about food. How exciting it is to watch people cook really brilliant food on TV programmes like MasterChef and shit like that, you know, and then you get people like, they pick some cooked onion or lettuce or a bit of meat up and they move it with their finger, and some chef says, oh, don't use your finger, don't use your fingers, use the tongs. You look about the kitchen for a pair of tongs when you've got to move something, when somebody's screaming for the fucking dinner out front, you know, it's like, it's taking the chef that's cooking the meat 20 minutes longer to cook the fucking thing that they know, or 5 minutes, and everything's late, and you move something with your finger. How would you feel about, eating food that somebody's touched with their fingers? Use the tongs, they say, use the tongs, and I'm thinking, yeah, these people who are worrying about you fucking touching food with your fingers, probably the cleanest people, the cleanest hands on earth, right? If you're working in a fucking kitchen, the cleanest hands on earth, your hands are probably cleaner than a doctor's and a nurse's in a hospital. I'm telling you no lie. If you're working in a fucking kitchen, feeding people, your hands are probably cleaner than a doctor's and a nurse's who comes and touches you in the most private places when you're ill and sick and open wounds and all that shit, right? And they're saying, do you think these people want you to be touching that food with your fingers? And I'm thinking, yeah, these people are going to eat that food and then they're going to go home with whoever it is they're just had a meal with, and then they're going to lick and kiss and suck the most intimate parts, private parts. And some people are going to lick and tongue and suck the refuse parts of the human body. No, the bum, the anus. Right? Some people are going to go home and lick and kiss that for some weird, unknown reason. I've never tried it. People say, oh, it's good. Yeah, it probably is. Eating fermented whale blubber is probably good, but I'm not really that interested in trying it. And I'm not really that interested in licking somebody's anus. So I wouldn't be so upset in a restaurant where I ate something where someone with the cleanest hands in the fucking world had moved a bit of food on my plate. I wouldn't be upset about that. It's like, that's what happens in kitchens. Food gets moved by fingers, you know what I mean? But they are clean fingers. They are not the fingers that you have recently had stuck up either your own ass or someone else's ass, which you then go and make a jelly peanut sandwich with and then eat. And then I'm thinking, yeah, these people don't want me with my clean fingers working in a kitchen, touching their food. Yeah. But then they're going to be doing all sorts of crazy shit, fucking, bum licking stuff and stuff like that, cock licking and cock sucking stuff later. Yeah, which is going to be highly hygienic, and hygienic. Obviously, they have taken real precautions not to lick anything dirty when they're sucking cocks and licking bums. I'm just saying, but they're really upset if they thought even in their head that I touched a potato with my finger, as a chef. They'd be, oh my God, you didn't use a tong? No, I didn't use a tong. You know what I mean? My hands are washed several million times a fucking week, you know what I mean, as a chef, you know what I mean? You can't touch anything as a chef without then going and rinsing your fingers. You go from meat to veg, to fucking, cooked pasta, to uncooked pasta. You're constantly moving from one thing to another. You're constantly rinsing and wiping your hands with sterilised fucking equipment. This is what happens in kitchens. And occasionally, yes, your human flesh will come in contact with some meat, cooked meat, that's about to go on a plate for someone to eat. Occasionally that happens. I would say, not very occasionally, but very, very often. In fact, almost every plate that goes out, some part of the food on that plate has been touched by a fucking human finger. You know what I mean? That's what happens in kitchens, especially high-end kitchens. You're highly unlikely to have someone touched your food with their finger in a low-end kitchen because everything is served up by a ladle or a fucking slice, you know what I mean? Only in high-end kitchens do you need to touch with your finger tiny, intricate little details like flowers that you can eat and jelly and little crusts and shit, you know what I mean? If you go to somewhere that sells pie and beans, it's highly unlikely anybody has ever touched any of that food with their fingers. If you go and you buy a £1,000 meal, you can probably guarantee that every single thing on your plate has been touched by a finger before you fucking ate it, you know what I mean? But then you're going to go home and lick somebody's bum or suck somebody's cock. So what are you worried about? What are you worried you're going to catch from somebody's finger that you're not getting from somebody's cock or somebody's bum that you're licking and sucking on? I don't know. I don't understand why people have this huge worry about food. You know what I mean? That it's poisonous and being poisoned by the people who touched it, you know what I mean? The shit and crap that you put into your own face with your own fingers every fucking day are probably more highly toxic than anything you're going to get in a burger bar or a fucking high-end restaurant. So basically what we're just talking about here is what it looks like. It looks bad. It looks bad for you to touch the food. So basically, you can touch the food so long as nobody sees you doing it. That's the basic premise. So long as nobody sees you touching it and poking it with your finger. Whenever anybody looks at you, you're using a spoon or a pork or a spork or a towel, a fish fucking slice, you're fine. But as soon as somebody sees you touching food with your finger, you're fucked. That's it, because they know that finger has been places. Yeah, and no matter how much you wash that finger and scrub it, the thought in their head of where that finger has been, that's the killer. That's the fucking killer. They don't care that they think, they can remember with their tongue being in exactly the same place your fingers have been, but they're thinking, that finger has been there. You know what I mean? That finger has been up that bum or in that fanny. And even although my tongue has been in both places and I'm eating my food with that tongue, every piece of food that I eat has been touched by that bum-licking, quim-licking tongue. It's like, your finger touched it, and that's disgusting. That's a disgusting finger touch. My tongue touch, not so disgusting. It's trying to fucking bad motherfuckers.